Hello, homeschool friends. Sabrina here from SevenSistersHomeschool.com. How are things going? For a lot of us, things are maybe not going exactly the way that we thought that they would when we first made the decision to homeschool long ago. Because I think most of us have noticed by now that life is not entirely predictable and we don't get to control the universe. So that means that sometimes our homeschools face challenges that we didn't prepare for because, well, we weren't expecting them. And those kind of challenges can be very disconcerting. They can make us feel afraid. They can make us frustrated. They can make us angry. They can definitely disrupt the communication and cooperation between us and our spouse and our kids. And that's tough. So if your homeschool is finding itself facing challenges, or if you just like to educate yourself in case someday your homeschool does face a challenge that you were not expecting, this morning's Facebook Live is going to give you 3 ways to face a challenge that you weren't expecting and find that your homeschool can meet that challenge. There can be all sorts of things that bring us unexpected challenge. I'm going to deal with 3 of the most common. These are things that I have either experienced within my own homeschool, where I homeschooled my 4 kids for 20 years, or someone within the other sisters at SevenSistersHomeschool.com, because in case you're not familiar with our curriculum brand, Seven Sisters is made up of 6 of us, dear friends, sisters in the Lord, and 2 of us, 2 of the 6 are actually biological sisters, my sister Allison and I. But the 6 of us homeschooled side by side in community, homeschooling our own kids for well over 20 years. We graduated a whole bunch of kids from homeschool high school, and out of the curriculum that we developed during those years, we launched a business. And now SevenSistersHomeschool.com has been on the internet for about a decade. So that's where we come from. When we talk to you about your homeschooling experience, when you give us a little chance to come alongside your family as you're homeschooling, you are the 7th sister. So there you go. These are things that we either encountered among our own families and kids or in our local homeschool community. 3 basic types of challenges that tend to be really difficult in homeschool. The first is falling behind. Like behind. Not like, oh no, we're a couple of lessons behind in math, but like, oh no, we've only done 2 chapters and we should be to chapter 11. Like behind. There can be all sorts of reasons that happens. And so that's going to be my strategy suggestion. If you find that you are behind, like seriously behind in your homeschool high school, or in the younger grades too, although honestly it's so much easier to sort of adjust in the younger grades. So I'm thinking mainly about high school, where we're worried about, are we going to get that credit earned for the transcript? You know, is it going to get done before the end of the year? So if you find that you're really behind, your best strategy is to evaluate why. Because by figuring out how you got into this pickle, you're going to be able to figure out ways that you can get out of the pickle. But you cannot evaluate this all by yourself in a vacuum. So homeschool parent, you need to sit down with homeschool student and talk about this. And the only way you can have a good, productive, fruitful conversation with your teen about why you're so far behind in homeschooling and figure out what you might do about it. The only way to have that productive, fruitful conversation is to make this a judgment-free zone. This has to be a safe space, or your teen is not going to be a helpful participant in the conversation because they're going to feel afraid to speak freely. They're going to be uneasy about sharing with you maybe things that you haven't realized are a big problem for them. You have to make this a safe space. If you are homeschooling high school, please remember that this is not something you're doing to your teen. This is something you and your teen are working on together. You got to be on the same team. So if you can sit down together and make it clear, you know, have a snack. Eating together is a wonderful level the playing field kind of move. And it's also just a sign of friendship and acceptance. Okay, we're going to share a snack together and we're going to think about this. How did we get this far behind? And I'm not going to judge you and you're not going to judge me and nobody's going to end up grounded. We're going to talk about how we got here. If you do that and you make notes, you are going to notice on your notes you're going to notice a couple things that will stand out, that will help you figure out your next steps forward. Okay? So if you are far behind, and that's the challenge you're facing, my suggestion is evaluate with your teen how you got here, because that's going to shine a light on what you might do to get beyond that challenge. All right, second reason that you might find yourself far behind is because your curriculum is a really bad fit. You bought this book, everybody was talking about how awesome it was, 3 of your friends from co-op had used it, they all loved it, you got it, you can't stand it. It's not working for you, it's not working for your kid, it's not working for you or your kid. Remember that it matters whether the curriculum works for mom or dad, just like it matters whether it works for your kid. Okay? Your kid's learning style is very important in choosing curriculum, but so is your style. You're in this together, you're on the same team. All right, so if your curriculum is a bad fit, there is no shame in that, friends. There is no shame in that. In fact, this is one of the reasons that you homeschool. It's so you can make decisions that will create a successful learning environment for your kid. You are not just trying to fit them into somebody else's cookie cutter. You are trying to create a learning environment that is going to be successful for your kid. All right? So if you're finding that curriculum does not fit, first of all, there's no shame. And second, no, it's not too late. You can make a change. Even if you're at mid-year, even if you have 3 or 4 months invested in a piece of curriculum, you can make a change. There are a lot of tips on how to make a change that can be found in the blogs on sevensistershomeschool.com. In fact, we have a white paper that you can download. It's, I think, $2.99, something like that, if you find you're really far behind, which we mentioned in the first challenge. And it's called Help, We're Drowning. Suggestions for moving ahead if things are really bad. So it's okay that the curriculum doesn't fit. It's okay to change it. In fact, that's part of the reason you're homeschooling. And it's not too late. You will find that if you make a curriculum switch mid-year, a lot of times you can sort of dovetail the two. There will be things that your student mastered even in a piece of curriculum that was a poor fit. And you will find that there are things already there in place that don't necessarily have to be repeated in full by using the replacement curriculum. Okay? You get to dovetail and fit those resources together if you find that they will fit together. A second thing to remember is that you are not really on a fixed schedule. The deadline that you had in mind for the end of your school year, it can be fluid. You can move some of this learning into the summer if that's where it needs to wind itself down. Keep reminding yourself of why you're doing this. Why are you homeschooling? Not to fit into a cookie cutter, but to create a successful learning experience for your kid. So give yourself permission to make changes if you need to. All right? So if you're drowning and way behind, evaluate why with your teen and look for strategies together. If your curriculum doesn't fit, change your curriculum. If you've never looked at curriculum from sevensistershomeschool.com, I'm going to tell you, I think it's pretty awesome. And I also know that one of our core distinctives is adaptability. We recommend and we suggest ways for you to adapt our curriculum to fit your goals and needs. There is no cookie cutter. There is not one right way to homeschool. So visit sevensistershomeschool.com and check out the ebook store if you've not seen our curriculum. Maybe that'll be a better fit. Third thing that often causes people to feel that they are facing a challenge that's really difficult to meet, and that is external circumstances. Things beyond your control, someone's health, financial problem, having to move unexpectedly, losing community, 2020. That could be an external, right? That no one was expecting. When these things happen, my first and best strategy suggestion always is pray. God was not surprised by the change in your external circumstances, even though you were. So start in prayer. And from there, go back to your goals, not just your goals for this year, your goals for all of high school, your 4-year goals, what do you want to see high school build in your teen? Maybe your goals for homeschooling altogether from a very fundamental level, like a homeschool mission statement. And I believe we also have resources for creating a homeschool mission statement. In fact, yes, we do, at sevensistershomeschool.com. So if you don't know what I'm talking about or you've never tried that, it can be really empowering. Writing your homeschool mission statement. Go back to those core reasons. And if you can continue to go after those core goals, I'm not talking the list of subjects that you wanted to check off on the transcript this year. I'm talking about the reasons that you're homeschooling, the things that you want the chance to build in your child, in your family, in the world, in the kingdom of God, the core reasons that you're homeschooling. Go back to those things. And then look at your homeschool through that lens and say, in light of these external circumstances that are very challenging, how can I still be leaning into, moving toward, praying for, and going after those goals? Perhaps one of the goals for homeschooling your teen was to have good family relationships and to foster those and to spend good time together. Well, in light of something like 2020 and the pandemic and the lockdowns and the quarantining and all of that, that was actually a help in many families. To slow the pace of external activities, to spend more time together as a family, that's one goal you may be reaching more effectively than you were before. When you return to those core goals, those core reasons, you're going to find a lot of encouragement and strength to make whatever adjustments you do need to make to meet those challenges and to succeed. So to recap, if you are feeling intimidated in the face of challenges, that's okay. A lot of those challenges come from being way behind, from having curriculum that doesn't fit well, or from finding that external circumstances slammed your homeschool. And in the face of all of those things, there is hope. There's not one right way to homeschool high school. You are allowed to make adjustments. You are encouraged to make adjustments. You are not alone, and you can do it. So that's my encouragement for you today. I have a comment that I can't read without my glasses from Christy. Hi, were you at our homeschool last night? You're absolutely speaking to me. I'm sorry that was your home last night, but I'm glad that this is speaking to you, and I hope that it gives you hope. I hope that it gives you some practical strategies for meeting those challenges and for not curling up into a ball in the corner of the room and just crying for the rest of your life, because you can do it. You could do it. Thanks for being here this morning, Christy. It's very, very good for us at Seven Sisters to hear back from you, our seventh sisters. And if you're not somebody who, like Christy, is friendly and extroverted enough to pop in during the live and chat with me, then that's okay. Leave a comment. We really all do so much better as homeschoolers and as sisters when we share our stories with each other, when we share our thoughts and our encouragement and even our struggles. So join the community if you're not a part of the Facebook group for Seven Sisters Homeschool. Hop in there. You will be so welcomed, so appreciated, so loved. Here is a comment from Stacy, who is one of our favorite Seventh Sisters, who helps with all of our social media from Seven Sisters, and she is right. You are not alone. You have big sisters, you have same-age sisters, and you have younger sisters. And when we all come together in community, we can do a lot to meet challenges. Have yourselves a wonderful week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.